Hi everyone, this is Rodalyn TV live from UK. I miss you all. Kamusta na po? It's been a while since my last streaming. Medyo naging busy lang po tayo kasi po ang dami pong trabaho. So here I am and getting in touch with you all. So our topic for today is quite interesting. It will be about some reactions on what's happening around us, all about global news, um, politics. It's just a kind of feedback, positive feedback, and our thoughts, reactions on what's happening around us. So feel free to join in if you want. So share lang po natin yung live natin ngayon. And yeah, I hope you will be with me for quite a while. Okay? Cool. My costume is like this because it's kind of winter now, so medyo malamig. It's really cold. So kaya pa tayo naka-bonnet, no? So kumusta na po kayong lahat? Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao at saang lupalop man ng daigdig. Naway safe kayong lahat, ano? Alam ko hindi madali para sa ating lahat na napapailalim sa lockdown policy o kung ano-ano man dyan mga monitoring ng ating gobyerno sa ang lupalop man ng mundo. Subalit, sana po ay para sa ikabubuti ng lahat. Okay po ba? So, antay-antay lang po tayo sa iba pang dumarating o paparating at gusto makipag-join sa ating talakayan. And yeah, it's just nice to be here with you. Okay? Special shout out to JB Sweetie Life TV. Hi. Hi JB. Thank you. You're the first one in attendance. So paki-share na lang po JB at magsi-share lang po muna ako para tayo po ay magchika-chikahan. Ayan. And po, don't forget to give love and support. Ayan. How are you now, JB Sweetie Life? Share ko lang po yung ating live ngayon. Ano to impromptu. Ay, kasi po, ang tagal-tagal ko nang, siguro mga 1 week na hindi ako nakapag catch up po sa inyo. Host, may premiere ba ka naman patang? Sure. I will do that. Kailan ba yung premiere nyo, JB Sweetie Life? Yeah, dadala ako sa day off ko ngayon. So, sobrang lamig lang. Kaya talagang muna. Ayan. Share po natin yung ating live, ha? Share po natin yung ating live, ha? Share po natin yung ating live, ha? Saglit lang. Saglit lang. May nagka-echo ba? Ayan. Yan. So, mga gusto lang makipag-join dyan, no? So, feel free to join me. From host, Thank you, JB Sweetie Life. Ayan. Pag medyo marami-rami na tayo, so pwede nating buksan ang ating talakayan kung ano man yung pwede nating reaction and thoughts. Saan ka nga ba? Thank you, Teacher SP. So, naging busy po ako for a week kasi naka-annual leave yung staff ko. So, I've been working long day po. Straight for a week at marami lang pong tayong inasikasong mga bagay-bagay. So as I said, nakabote ako ngayon kasi mukhang winter na po sa amin. So sobrang lamig po. So kumusta na kayong lahat? And don't forget Teacher SP's live streaming tomorrow. And sana, and premiere for JB's Witty Live. Ayan. Welcome po. Nakakamiss po mag-live stream, ano? Ayan, kamusta na kayong lahat? Ayan. So, salamat sa patayan, salamat si Nightbot to, nakakamiss si Nightbot. Actually, habang busy pa ako sa duty at hindi pa ako nagla-live stream kasi ayusin ko pa yung aking paid membership and perks. Nagbabasa-basa din po tayo ng mga global news and current affairs about politics para pandagdag po sa segment natin, no, sa Rodalyn TV. Kasi po I've been focusing highly. Ay, tumaas daw ang BP ni Teacher SB. Naku po. Sobrang I think it's stress na yun dahil sobrang pagod, no? Kasi, or kulang sa tulog. Kasi ako minsan ganyan din, sumasakit yung bato ko, tapos ang bigat-bigat ng mata ko, no? Because I haven't been sleeping really well, no? Siguro minimum or maximum na tulog ko is 3 to 4 hours. And I've been working really straight, no? Long day, long day. So, if that's the case, just inom ko lang na maraming tubig tayo and some kind of drinks high in alkaline content, no? Para makabalance kasi it's also highly acidic. So, de-stress yourself if possible. Kung ano man dyan pwede mong gawin. And a bit of exercise also, no? And drink a lot of water. Kasi pag tumaas yung BP mo, it's either you'll be in pain. So kung may migraine ka man or headache, number one, kulang yan. Ang sikreto lang para, the key secret para mag-balance yung ating blood pressure. Thank you, Teacher SP. Para mag-balance yung ating blood pressure is to drink more water, no? Target plain, tsaka bawas-bawasan mo na yung mga caffeinated drinks mo. I know kailangan mo yan to stay awake, but at the same time, yung adverse effect niya, ibibigyan ka din ng sakit sa ulo. So it's really, as long as you can focus on your 8 glasses of pure water, di juice, coffee, or cha or whatsoever. Just plain water na talaga makakapag yan sa'yo. Makakatulong yan para mabawasan yung sakit ng iyong ulo. And how are you, JB Sweetie Life? Ayan. Kumusta na po ang inyong mga karevenyuhan dyan? Ano nyo? Share ka naman dyan, JB Sweetie Life, no? Kumusta ka na, Teacher SPS, apart from your BP? How's the students? Pag medyo marami-rami na tayo, we can share some reactions, kung anong gusto yung topic, no, about global events, news. Kasi may news dito sa amin na magla-lockdown uli kami. So, imagine na 6 na buwan na magla-lockdown na naman. Nakakapagod na. Alam mo yung mga people here are getting fed up with it, no? Hindi na po nakakatawa. But I know it's for the safety of everybody, but ano na rin, perwisyo. Alam mo yun, nakaka-perwisyo na rin na wala kang access. Tsaka yung puro na lang yung nasa bahay. Pati, alam mo, pati sa streets daw, kailangan mag-wear kami ng mask. Alam mo yung, lagi ka lang dito sa workplace, di ka rin masyadong makakalabas, no? Parang it restricts our way of life, our normal way of life. It takes away your freedom to express yourself, to be with nature. Kasi lahat ng pupuntahan mo may restrictions. Alam mo yung ganun. Para ka lang nakakulong in a huge space of your own place. Kasi wala, hindi ka makapunta ng mall na talaga mag-enjoy ka. Alam mong limit lang sa sa ilang tao yung ano mo, yung ano ba yun, associate mo in the public o ano. Parang nawala na yung spirit ng connectivity, no? So it's very frustrating and depressing actually. So ano pa? Ano pa yung ating pwedeng mai-share? Time now is 16:07. Anong oras na ba dyan sa Philippines? JB Sweetie Life, andiyan ka pa ba? I-share ko lang to sa Facebook natin. Anong oras yung ano mo tomorrow, Day? Yung live mo? Ayan, share ko lang sa ano natin, ha? So next time, isa-schedule ko na siya. Thank you so much, JV Sweetie Life and Teacher SP. Don't worry, before the end of the month, pag-issues ulit yung ating mga live streaming. Here lang host, nagre-ready going to, I'll go tomorrow. Kasi sobrang lamig hindi siya ano. Sa ka ba naka-base, JB City Life? Ayan. Ano ko lang siya. Member ko yun si yeah, I know that. Yeah, I met JB City Life before and I think I've done sa daming punong host. Ayan. I think you're doing well, Teacher SP, no? On your how's your students? Marami ka bang i-check na mga paperworks dyan? So far, JB Sweetie Life, I just want to give you some clues, no? Uh, I think you have, may share ako sa inyo na ano ha, topic. Naka-ano ka ba, JB, sa mga, sa kakahuyan sa syudad, sa kakahuyan sa syudad sa New York. So, how's New York by now? Ang galing naman yan. Night put the forget us. But, ayan. Nakakatawa naman si JB. Ayan. Kamusta ang buhay-buhay sa New York? New York, USA ba yan? O New York sa New York Street sa Pilipinas? O kung saan saang lugar ka man based? Ay, that's nice. Ako host, kain namin. Anong kinakain mo? I just had my lunch. What time is it there, JP? Okay. That's great. So, how's the campaign period there? No? Sana lahat ng and a huge uh, a huge greetings and warm welcome, people of New York. You know, I've been there once. No, I attended the launching of my book in New York. That was the first time when I visited USA. No, when I published. Alam mo yung ito. Yan. That's my self-published book, The People's Guide, A Face to Save Billions of Lives and Souls. No, so I attended a book. A massive, it's the biggest book event in the world when I attended that one. So it was nice. The only thing though in Europe, it's full of huge buildings now, and I nearly got lost because it's my first time to go there, and Millet lang. Millet. Oh, that's nice. So it's my first time to visit there, and I did enjoy. And yeah, medyo mainit. Kapag wala ka talagang kakilala, you really have to really get your way, no? Kasi mahirap pag ikaw lang mag-isa, no? Ikot-ikot ka lang ng ano. But it was nice. I went to NBC, and also I have a friend in California, and so I stayed there for a few days. I also ventured to what you call this one, to get into Hollywood at the time. No, that was in I think that was in 2010 when I went there. So and then I attended my book launch. It was a very huge event. So it was a nice experience actually. So kamusta naman ang mga kumpanyahan dyan? And I hope you will. Are you a US citizen now, JP's with the life? Ayan. So ingat-ingat lang dyan. Sana ay ano magkaroon tayo ng maayos na malapit na no yung election nyo dyan. With all honesty, I really want President Trump to win for the American people kasi alam ko na um, maganda ang kanyang hangarin para sa inyo dyan. So, yung iba ay medyo iba na medyo iba na yung mga ano nila dyan, ano. Yes, who's awa ni God. That's good. So let's pray for the best, no? For the um, kasi mahirap eh. There's a lot of things going on around the world now. And marami pong nasasaktan, maraming namamatay, maraming naghihikahos at naghihirap. A lot of people suffers as a result of election campaigns, black propagandas, and you know, and all that. So plus this pandemic, no, nakakaapekto po sa lahat. So kailangan we have to be vigilant, resilient, and be mindful of everything that goes on around us. So, but you need to exercise your rights then to vote, no? Then and you have to sana matauhan na, no? A lot of American people will wake up with the reality of what's best for their country. Kasi if everyone is affected dyan, kasi it's very cold. My window is open. Kasi kung hindi ko rin i-open yung ano ko, tawag nito, nakakasakal din yung ano ng room ko. So I have to at kagugupit ko lang ng fringe ko medyo medyo naiksian ko masyado. So sabi ko, maglagay mo na akong bonnet. Ang lamig-lamig kaya sa tenga. Ayan. Mahamog ka ng ulo mo, Jose. Yes, yes, that's right. Kasi nakakaano na eh. Ang lamig-lamig na talaga. So, pang ilang ano mo na, sino ba dyan? Pang ilang ano mo na, JB City Life, pang ilang premiere mo na? So, Inday, what's the plan? Teacher SB, what's the plan for tomorrow? You need to update me so in advance so I can there. So rest assured before the end of the month, don't worry, we'll catch up, no? Sa ating mga sponsorship and iba dyan. You know, I'm trying to, by the way, JB host, I want to share with you, sabi ko nga, yung yung tawag nito. Meron ka bang tinatawag na VidIQ? Gusto ko siyang i-flex VidIQ. You know, if you go to my channel, no? At may nakita kayong parang blue na arrow na ganyan. Ano po yan? Symbol yan ng vidIQ. Ayan. Pwede ko pa itong ilang. Ay, hindi pala ako naka-StreamYard. So, hindi ko siya ma-flex sa ano. But it's okay. Hindi ko matandaan. Okay. You need to put numbers para, di ba kunwari, 100, pang ilang 100 mo na yan na ano, para ma-monitor mo siya, di ba? Ayan. If you Google vidIQ, tawag nito, isa po siyang parang makapag-boost ng iyong channel and it will give you a very good stats kung ano yung performance ng iyong channel, iyong YouTube channel po. I share this with Teacher SB also, no? But I haven't shared this to the group yet, yung kung sino po yung mga tulog at hindi pa nakapag-join sa akin ngayon. So, that's the next bit that I want to share to everybody po, no? Kasi malaki po talaga yung tulong niya, no? Nakaka-amaze ang mga features niya. Ayan. So habang nakikinig ka, pwede kang, if you have the computer, you can also explore, no? Makikita mo ba sa screen ko na meron akong parang IQ, tapos IQ Vision, ang tawag ito? IQ Vision for YouTube. Ayan. So, pag ma-open mo yung channel mo, at naka-sign up ka sa kanila, no, it will come next to your next to your Teacher SP. If you read, andiyan ka pa ba, Day? Meron din tinatawag na followfast.com. Ayan. Isa din bang tip yan para sa inyo, no? Um, it will it will add your subscribers or likes. Tapos, if you want extra income po, meron siyang feature na you want, if you, parang baliktad, imbes na tayo nagbibigay ng pabuya, tayo yung binibiyayaan by just watching the videos po ng ibang tao all over the world. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, like that. That's fine. So, pag nag-watch ka niyan dahil ng video, hi, si Chloe, kunwari. Kaya pag nag-watch ka yan dyan dahil ng video, ay ibig sabihin, ikaw yung makaka-generate ka ng income sa kanila. So, if you sign up, follow fast.com, you will see from Facebook to YouTube or Instagram or no, meron ka dyan na uh, may channel, may ano ka naman, di ba? May PayPal ka or Bitcoin or perfect money, ayan. And then they will be the one to pay you by watching the YouTubes. And then the mga videos, and then you can get more subscribers, more support sa Follow Fast. So I've been watching those channels po for every night now. At nakakaipon po ako ng points. And then you can convert the points to promote your channel or pwede mo rin siyang i-encash, no? Ayan. So, kamakailan lang po, all global leaders. I've been listening to the speeches of our beloved President Duterte po in the UN, no? At lahat po ng mga world leaders so far as medyo nakakakinig din ako ng kanilang mga talumpati kasi favorite thing to do ko yung makinig ng mga speeches. Basta any sort of public speaking, talagang hook ako dyan. No? I enjoyed watching and listening people delivering speeches, yung mga TED Talks, any documentaries and public speaking. I'm really engaged and I'm really hook or in tune sa mga ganyang bagay. So, reaction ko lang doon sa mga speeches ni President Duterte, no, it was a very balanced and very realistic kind of information that he shared and delivered in the United Nations. So, and I'm so proud to be a Filipino na talagang he made the country proud. No? He lifted the nations ng kanyang mga talakayan regarding dun sa mga issues, concerns, problems that are existent in the Philippines. So, tinakol niya doon about, although nagbabasa po si tatay sa but it was really a good one. No? And it's nice for him to participate in there also. Chloe Embiado, bigyan kita ng jacket. I know, ikaw din to, Hinday. Ayan. Dali Tingnan natin. So, kumusta na kayong lahat? News. speech in UN. Ayan. Saka tayo ng reactions mamaya. I'm using the RTV Malacanang, no? So,
General,
ayan.
Head of the State and Government, Excellencies,
Ayan si Tatay Tito.
I am honored to address you today on behalf of the Filipino people on this 25th anniversary of the United Nations.
Ayan, makinig tayo ha.
The invisible enemy that is COVID-19 has brought about an unfamiliar global landscape and unleashed a crisis without precedent. It is the biggest test the world and the United Nations face since World War II. While the United Nations has brought relief and hope to so many countries and peoples around the world, it now finds itself saddled by a virus that has taken many lives and wrecked economies and social order. We are at a crossroads. How we address COVID-19 will define our future. For the Philippines, this means putting up all of the peoples of our United Nations at the core of this response. We will need to ask hard and fundamental questions about the vision and mission that the United Nations conceptualized 75 years ago. We need to ask ourselves whether or not we have remained true and faithful to the United Nations principles and ideas. Mr. President, in the light of the realities of the present, the Philippines grieves with all of the families all over the world who lost their loved ones to this horrible virus. We extend our heartfelt condolences. We salute all.
Ayan. So, narinig nyo yan, yung sabi ni Tatay Tikong, no, addressing the virus, no, na talagang maraming nakakapinsala at maraming ano yung naitulot nito sa pangkalahatan, no. So, it's a very powerful introductory speech po para sa akin na i-address na yun kasi that is a very, very top problem, you know. It's the pandemic. So, bigyan ko lang ng jacket si Tara's Adventures 1-2 from Teacher SB. Thank you so much for coming. Sandali lang ha. By the way, Dara's as you can see, our topic for today is about reactions, no? And sa mga speech ng ating pinakamamahal na Pangulo. So, dali lang. Ayan, may jacket ka na, Daras. No? Feel free na magbaba ka ng bahay mo dyan, ha? Ayan, so that's fine. Is she your student, Daras Adventures 1-2? Ayan, Thank you so much. And welcome to my channel, ma'am. As ayan. So, as you can hear, no, sa lahat na hindi pa sa lahat pa hindi pa nakakapagpakinig, pagpakinig ng speech ni President Duterte, no, I encourage you to listen po kasi it's a pivotal speech para po sa ating mga Pilipino. Minsan lang po nag-deliver ng speech si Tatay Digong sa may United Nations. No? So, kailangan po natin na bilang Pilipino po, suportahan din po natin siya at isa pong importanteng mensahe po para sa lahat. So, pagpatuloy natin. So sa tingin nyo, ano po yung um, dapat na solusyon para sa pandemic? Kasi parang it's an endless cyclical pattern po, you know. Lahat tayo nagsisikap naman na may isa katuparan, masunod kung ano yung batas, pero meron talaga na hindi sumasang-ayon o hindi sumusunod. Or ito po ba ay isang hoax lang para sa sunod na mga plano ng kung sino man yung taong nasa likod nito. So ito po yung isang kababalaghan din na nangyayari sa buong mundo ngayon kasi lahat tayo halos lahat tayo, kung hindi man lahat ng mga bansa ay hindi nakakaranas ng ganito. Majority po sa mga bansa na aapektuhan. So marami na pong mga unemployed, marami na pong naghihikahos, mga walang trabaho at talagang hirap na po, no? Our economy is crippled. So, I think moving forward, kung meron tayong alam dyan na pwede nating itulog sa ating mga gobyerno at bilang isang responsible citizens at alang-alang na rin kay Mother Earth, alang-alang na rin sa mga mahal natin sa buhay, bilang individual na tao, kailangan din po nating mag-share kung ano man yung ating pwedeng nalalaman, no? At sana mapakinggan din tayo. Alam ko sa ibang mga lugar nagpo-protesta sila, nagrarally, um, may mga riot, may mga pangyari na hindi din natin sila masisisi kasi at the end of the day, talagang kahit saang anggulo mo tingnan, mali talaga yung pagkakalat ng virus na halos halos it cripples our economy, halos lahat na ng mga businesses, lahat ng mga tao, maraming namamatay. We're putting our lives at risk po. So, hindi na po talaga ano. Ayan, si is it Miss Johnny's vlog day? Hello, Tara's Adventures. I will visit your house next time, ha? And thank you so much for coming po. Since I was monetized po, nag-live lang po ako pag feel ko. Minsan wala na ako invitation, hindi na ako nagka-advertise. Kung sino lang yung matimingan ko nagising, ayan, mag-join sa akin. But I will also have a scheduled one just to sustain my channel po, no? I'll go live and I just want to share. Kasi alam ko na later naman pag ma-share natin yung full video and full streaming, meron din naman makakapag-pick up na mag-review at manood. So, ganun po yung ano ko. Tsaka ang hirap din kasi i-catch up yung schedule ko dito sa UK, no? At gusto ko mang i-timing sa inyo dyan sa Philippines. Pero kung kayo ay gising, ako ay tulog. Kung ako naman yung tulog, kayo ay gising. So talagang I'm just catching the million time na pwede tayo alam ko, malapit na mag-12 midnight yan, Day. Gising ka pa rin. Gumagawa ka rin pa ba ng workbook mo? So pagpatuloy natin yung speech ni President Duterte sa UN, no? And I just want to share this kasi hindi naman po lahat-lahat mahilig sa current affairs. Yung iba nga hindi na nanonood kasi nakakaano na. So I just hope that via my channel I can some people might be able to listen to it no? Sa pagpatuloy po natin.
even in countries not their own. So also do we honor and recognize the healthcare professionals who selflessly answered the call and to combat the
Naririnig niyo ba?
COVID-19 pandemic despite its virulence and unknown characteristics. While each nation has its own strategy in fighting the pandemic, what the world needs are coordinated international plans and efforts to pursue a common purpose. COVID 19 knows no border, it knows no nationality, it knows no race, it knows no gender, it knows no age, it knows no creed. The Philippines values the role that the United Nations plays in its fight against the pandemic. And a middle income country whose economic advantages have been derailed by the pandemic, we welcome the launch of the UN COVID Response and Recovery Fund. Ensuring universal access to anti COVID 19 technologies and products is pivotal in the global pandemic recovery. The world is in the race to find safe and effective vaccine. When the world finds that vaccine, access to it must not be denied nor withheld. It should be made available to all rich and poor nations alike as a matter of policy. The Philippines joins our partners in the ASEAN and the non-aligned movement and in raising our collective voice. The COVID-19 vaccine must be considered a global public good. Let us be clear on this. We can call for a global health agenda with enough resources and policy space for the World Health Organizations. We need a WHO that is quick to coordinate and quicker to respond. The Philippines will do its part in the pooling of global resources. Our health workers are among the best. Mr. President, just as we needed stability and confidence because of the pandemic, geopolitical tensions continue to rise. Escalating tensions benefit no one. The new flashpoints heighten fears and tend to tear peoples apart. When elephants fight, it is the grass that gets trampled flat. Given the size and military might of the contenders, we can only imagine and be aghast at the terrible toll on human life and property that shall be inflicted if the world war deteriorates into a real war of nuclear weapons and missiles. I therefore call on the stakeholders in the South China Sea, the Korean Peninsula, the Middle East, and Africa. If we cannot be friends as yet, then in God's name, let us not hate each other too much. I heard it once said, and I say it to myself, complete agreement. Mr. President, Filipino migrant workers have been devastated by the pandemic. Many have lost not only their livelihood but also their health and lives as well. Yet they go on in the front lines healing, caring others in the different parts of the world. The Philippine government.
Ayan. So, yung reaction natin yan, sabi ni Tatay Tigong, "Hi, kulit!" Wala pa kailang kulit, bawal man yan o hindi. Basta, ayan, how are you? So, ang topic po kasi natin is reaction time. So, sinishare ko po sa inyo on air kung saan ako pwedeng react. Kung saan ako pwedeng ano tawag nito? Ayan. So, kung saan po tayo pwede. So, I like the speech that President Duterte did na virus no nationality, no gender, no ethnicity, no and things like that, no? Talagang tama po 'yon. So, kahit sino knows no age, no? Kahit sino puwedeng atakehin po ng virus. At ang maganda din do'n na nasabi niya sa ibang countries na if we cannot be friends for God's sake and for the, or in the name of God, let us be friends. No, let us not hate each other too much. So yan naman talaga kailangan natin ngayon, lalong-lalo na at this very difficult time, no? Na talagang everyone is looking for answers. Um, so sana ang gusto ko lang po sanang iparating po sa kapwa nating Pilipino, whether this will happen soon or not. Sana po kasi medyo naaano na tayo sa funding. Medyo na dahil sa dami ng gastos ng mga namamatay, ang dami na pong mga tawag nito, ang dami na pong nahihirapan, ang dami nang walang trabaho. So sana man lang po bigyan nating pagkakataon, no? Sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam ng punot dulo kung bakit po isisingit ko lang po itong concept, itong idea na nakita ko sa YouTube, narinig ko, actually, I've been watching, I've been monitoring these videos for a long time, for almost 2 decades na po, no? At nakakalungkot isipin na uh, we as Filipinos, nagkawatak-watak po tayo dahil lang po sa maling kasaysayan, dahil lang po sa maling impormasyon na naririnig natin sa telebisyon, dahil lang po sa mga personal and business interest ng iba pong mga kumpanya, no? Ng ibang media na talagang they spread black propaganda po. At sa akin lang po is, even though I live in the UK, we cannot deny the fact na meron po talagang mga partido-partido politiko ang mga yan. No? I just limit myself at the moment tungkol sa global reactions and a little bit of politics po. Kasi this is, Rodalyn TV is a segment of various content naman. So, I think it is acceptable to do my own way of helping you guys to make you realize, no, na nakakasakit isipin na yung isang mayamang bansa sa buong mundo na noon ay tinatawag na Maharlika, no? Sana makita nyo yan sa YouTube. Sana panoorin nyo yan at pag-aralan, no? Dahil nandito lang din naman tayo sa YouTube. This is the best chance for us, not just to promote our channel, but also to help other people para matuklasan nila, para malaman nila kung ano yung katotohanan. So sa akin lang po isang panawagan, and I am trying to invite you all to please open your mind, no? Widen the scope of your understanding po. don't just limit ourselves to ourselves. Don't just limit what we are learning and what we are studying for our own personal interest. We need to come out of it in our shells, in ourselves, to embrace other factual matter na pwede pong ikabubuti ng ating bansa, na pwede pong ikabubuti ng buong mundo. So, I am guiding you. That's why I featured President Duterte's speech in the UN to encourage everyone all over the world to please discover the truth. Ano po yung katotohanan? That the Philippines is once a Maharlikan country, a very rich and wealthy nation, which is being ruined by the invaders. No? Andyan yung um, Spain na sumakop sa atin, andyan yung Japanese, no? Andyan yung Americans. Either in one way tumulong, andyan yung mga Japanese. So, we need to know our history po. And then, we will gradually progress kung ano po yung nangyari mula 1950 and even beyond that, no? And even before that, no, I wasn't even born. I was born in 1973, no? So we need to go back a little bit, no, just to understand, and you will discover then, no, tayo ay biktima ng maling kasaysayan kasi may mga tao behind whoever is the president at the time of the Philippines na kaya silang hawakan sa leeg. They're like puppets, no? So, doon nyo pong ma-discover na marami palang mga incident o mga pangyayari sa buhay ng Pilipinas na kontrolado at ginawa ng at scripted ng ibang bansa dahil lang sa ginto. No? So, marami tayong dapat malaman. At ako mismo biktima ng kasinungalingan ng ating kasaysayan. Napaniwala tayo na si ganito ganyan ay maganda o ganito ganyan ay isang, you know, at yung mga tao na dapat nating i-celebrate o kaya bigyang gawing hero ng mga totoong hero ay sa tingin ng ibang tao ay isang masama, no? So we need to correct this. We need to correct how people sees the world, 'di ba? So yun lang po ang ating dapat pagtuunang pansin din po kasi lahat tayo ay apektado. Thank you, Daras Adventures 12. Thank you so much for coming. So, dapat po ay isaalang-alang din po natin yung mga bagay na nakakaapekto sa ating buhay. Kasi tayo rin po yung mga pumipili ng tao. Pero sa kasamaang palad, nakokontrol ng politika po. So, lahat po tayo ay apektado, no? So, sana kayang-kaya natin as one, kayang-kaya nating ituwid yung kamalian ng ating kasaysayan, kamalian ng ating ah, mga literato nung 30 years ago, no? Kaya nga po isang malaking karangalan sa ating Pangulo na makapagsalita siya doon at he manages to tackle every aspect din po ng ano. So sana pray ko lang at matupad na rin yung pangarap ng yumao nating President Ferdinand Marcos na maisakatuparan kung ano man yung naisaad niya sa kanyang last will of testament. Kasi naniniwala po ako, no? Naniniwala po ako na palang araw, when that proper time comes, sa tulong din po ni President Duterte, ay maisakatuparan na kung ano man yung nakasaad dyan. Kasi hindi lang po Pilipinas ang maaaring matulungan. It's a wealth for humanity po. So dahil sa pandemic na ito, marami po tayong naranasan At marami pa pong, alam ko maraming magagandang projects na nagawa yung ating pinakamamahal na Pangulo at alam ko na maraming Pilipino din ang mabiyayaan. It's not just limited to all the Filipinos, to everyone, all foreigners alike. You can benefit. You can benefit the from the what do you call this one, from that proposed wealth of humanity na dapat i-ano ng ating um, late President Marcos po, no? Hi, Macy Francisco. Hello. Thank you for coming. It's okay, Macy. Kasi bago lang nag-direct ako ng live. So, ang atin pong topic ay it's about reactions, no? Reactions doon sa napili kong topic ng feature si President Duterte sa UN. So, para sa akin, isang malaking karangalan po yun. So, medyo kumuha tayo ng konting clip niya at in order to give a reaction po, no? So, para sa akin, isang malaking karangalan na tumalo si Tatay Digong. Thank you, Macy. Don't worry, I'll catch up, no? Sa katapusan, hopefully we can be joining. And I thank God na day off ko ngayon. So, medyo nagkaroon tayo ng konting time, but I'm still working on the membership and all that, no? Ayan. Chloe Imbiado Macy bukas. Ayan. So, sana po ay isaalang-alang natin, no? Na yung pagmamahal sa ating sarili, pagmamahal sa bayan, pagmamahal sa kay Mother Earth at sa ating poong may kapal, yun ang pinaka-highest love of all. Hindi lang po yung pagmamahal sa pamilya natin. Kasi whatever happens in our environment, whatever happens in our country, and whatever happens in the world, apektado po tayong lahat. No? Andyan yung nawawalan ka ng trabaho, you don't have access to transport dahil stranded o kaya canceled, you don't have access to other facilities, no? Kahit yung sources mo ng pagkain, sources mo ng mga education, your way of life, lifestyle, yung mga travel and plans, lahat apektado. So it would be nice kung bilang simpleng mamamayan, gawin din po natin yung ating makakaya to contribute whatever it is para sa ikabubuti ng ating bansa. Ano po? Hey, advance happy birthday, Macy! Ayan, sa katapusan na yung yung birthday gift. Nire-remind ako ni Teacher SP yung inano natin last time. So don't worry, it will be achieved po. Ayan, happy birthday, Mace. I-flex natin yan bukas o kaya sa next na ano. Okay, thank you. No worries. Ayan, magsisleep na si Teacher SP. Ayan, Macy. Thank you, Macy, ha. Pala ka na sa thumbnail nito after. Sige lang. Umidlip lang kayo dyan. Andito na ako. Just let me talk. Kasi I'm just catching up with my absence for quite a while, for a week, more than a week, no? Kasi nag-duty kasi ako, Mace. Long day, naka-leave yung staff ko. So, sobrang after ng work, sobrang pagod na. Alam mo yung ang bigat na ng mata ko, tsaka ang sakit-sakit ng likod ko. So, ayan. Happy birthday, Macy. September 27 ka pala, Mace. Well done. Pagkikipahinga lang kayo. Magkita-kita lang tayo sa katapusan. Mag-schedule tayo ng Grand LS uli. And we'll see. Marami lang ako. By the way, Mace, explore ka sa vidIQ. Sa vidIQ, no? And then, sa followfast.com. No? And followfast.com. Ayan. So, Mace, i-explore mo yan. sign up ka sa kanila and then explore or subscribe ka. Kasi in the followfast.com, ikaw yung sasahuran pag manood ka ng video nila. So, malaking tulong doon. I earned already like 200, nearly 232 points na. And then it can be converted either to promote your channel or you can encash using PayPal, Bitcoin, and Perfect Money. So, malaking tulong din yan sa'yo, no? Telkulit, yeah, ayan, telkulit na malaki. So, ang vidIQ Maze is just like a YouTube YT Studio, but it has more features kasi very specific ang stats niya. So, yun ang pinagkakaabalahan ko. So, nakita mo sa channel ko, meron na akong parang blue na arrow ano, parang may square na may arrow. Tapos, and it helps you with the keywords. Yung, para pag mag-expand ka ng, ano mo, yung search. Yung tinatawag nila na SEO, yung search engine optimization. So, maganda po siya. And I really enjoy the followfast.com kasi via your Facebook, via your YouTube, Instagram, at iba pang social media, by watching mga few seconds or few minutes ng video ng ibang tao all over the world, uh, ma- pwede mong kunan, pwede mo siya mapagkakitaan ng ilang dollars, per ano po. So, malaking tulong po siya talaga. Okay, do it now bago ka matulog para talaga ma-enjoy mo siya fully after ng, no. Okay, and thank you for coming. So just yeah, mag-ano lang ako, mag-live lang ako kahit mga isa o dalawang oras. Ayan. Yeah, thank you. God bless. Thanks, Macy. Ayan. So they are my team pagmamahal and still waiting for others to come, no? So saan na tayo? So punta naman tayo, we will examine other global leaders din po, no, sa mga ano nila, sa mga speeches nila kasi uh, very interesting din po, no, na malaman natin kung ano ang kanilang mga mensahe. Ayan. Sana I wish we will not be on lockdown, no, kasi napaka hirap ng trabaho, ang hirap ng tawag nito, ang hirap pag nakaano ka, yung restricted yung mga movements mo, no. Uh, hindi po hindi po siya nakakaano, nakakasagabal na po. Kumusta na po kayo diyaan sa inyong lahat? Ayan. Ano pa ba yung mga ibang balita? Ano na ba yung update sa PhilHealth? Nahusgahan na ba? na na ano na ba ang mga may sala? Ayan. So, dito sa UK, no, so far yun ang usap-usapan na baka may possibility na balik na naman kami sa lockdown. So, sana lang po wag matuloy yan, no? Isingit ko lang po sa lahat ng mga nais kung nandito man kayo sa UK na mga nurses o kaya andyan pa sa Philippines at balak nyo pumunta dito sa UK para mag-apply, meron pong pinatawag na procedures, no, kung paano ka mag-apply ng, ng nurse. You have to obtain your NMC registration. So, dapat makapasa ka sa tinatawag nila na English Language Skills o yung IELTS. Dapat yung score mo is minimum 7. Tapos mag-apply ka pre-registration sa Nursing Midwifery Council at kukuha ka ng competence test via the CBT or yung Tier 2 visa application ang OSCE o OSCE na tinatawag, no? At dapat meron kang Tier 2 visa application 3 months bago ka mag-OSCE na tinatawag nila. Tapos yung OET exam mo dapat is below grade B in each component. Nung kapanahunan ko, hindi ko po ito naranasan kasi iba yung adaptation course namin sa may, nung nag-apply ako sa nurse, no? So, ito, iba naman siya. So, bawat parang every few years, nag-a-update po ng mga requirements. So, kung may mga friends kayo dyan na gusto mag-apply as a nurse, at the moment, no, bear in mind, yung, yung travel ngayon is restricted. So, at ang hirap po, no? Kung saan ka man i-assign, kahit saan mo ngayon mag-apply, mahirap pa rin. Kasi unless kung suswertein ka in a care home, medyo hindi ganun ka hectic po, no? Thank you, Ate Jonah. Thank you sa patamsak po. No? May jacket ka na po ba, Ate Jonah? Welcome, welcome to Rodalyn's channel. Tingnan natin kung meron ka ng jacket, bibigyan kita. I think meron na po yata, Ate Jonah. I think meron na po yata, Ate Jonah. I think meron na po yata, Ate Jonah. Eh, nakabonet po ako, Ate Jonah. Binigyan na kita yan. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for coming po. Anong oras na dyan? Ninja mo pa ba to o yung original ano na? Thank you, thank you. Birthday daw pala ni Macy bukas, Ate Jo. Ayan, thank you so much for coming. Ayan, happy birthday, Macy. Ayan, kids natin. Nabigyan na kita, Ate Jonah, ng jacket. Ay, sandali, hindi ko pa nakat. Ayan, may jacket ka na. 12 a.m. dito. It's 16:59 po dito sa may UK. Gising ka pa rin. Nakapunod ako kay Jonah kasi ang lamig-lamig. Mag-winter na po kasi sa amin. Ayan, tingnan mo. Asa na yung, natanggal yung aking botones. Ayan. Tanggalin ko na nga lang to. Isang botones ko na. Okay po ba dyan sa inyo, Ate Jo? 1 week din ako na hindi naka-LS, Ate Jo. Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi naka-leave yung staff ko. So, matagal ang jacket ngayon. Really? Bakit po? Nag-iba na yung Nag-iba na yung patakaran ni Lolo? Tapos, ayan. Tapos ka na ba? Katatapos mo lang mag-LS. Ayan. At talaga, Ate Jonah, binigyan na kita ng jacket. Teka nga lang. Check ko ulit. Alam mo, hindi na ako updated sa... Ayan, Ate Jonah is now a moderator for your channel. Sige nga, mag-ano ka nga uli, Ate Jo. Tingnan ko. O, wala pa din. Eh, bakit kaya ganun? Nakailang pindot na ako, Ate Jo. Binigyan kita ng jacket. Bakit kaya sobrang tagal? Okay, sige, tapos na nga. Macy, ba't ang tagal mag-jacket? What? Ano na yung, alam mo, hindi ako updated ngayon sa YouTube. Taga talaga mag-jacket niya. Bakit daw? Ano nang bagong rulings ni Lolo? Nag-stricto na ba siya? Tapos ang daming nalalagasan ngayon, matagal ngayon. Talaga po, Ate Jo. Ay, ang sad naman. Mga may abuti ng ilang oras? O hindi kaya dahil para makastay yung tao sa isang live stream? Di ba ganun ang purpose nun? O kaya Ay. So kaya pala nung minsan nag-a-attend ako ng mga live stream, no? Feeling ko ini-ignore ako. Yung pala, matagal yung jacket. Kaya pala nilalaktawan lang ako pag no? May mga ina-attendan akong live streaming few days ago, Mace, Ate Jo. Pakiramdam ko, ano ba 'to, ba't parang hindi man lang hindi man lang nare-recognize, hindi man lang nagka-hi. Tapos, sabi ko, "Bakit kaya? Anong meron?" Si Lolo ata may gano'n ng pakulo, mainit talaga, ba't mainit ang ulo ni Lolo? O baka dahil sa sobrang dami na nag-you-YouTube, baka hindi na niya mahabol, hindi na niya maano lahat madisiplina. Ay nako. Anyway, kamusta na kayo dyan? Ayan. Ang grabe, sobrang lamig-lamig na dito sa, ano, naka-open lang yung bintana ko. Kay Teacher SB nga ako, di ako na, talaga, miss? Bakit pag nag-ano ka ba ng start all over again ka ulit? O bakit dito na may jacket ka naman kaagad? Nagtatanggal ba ng jacket si Teacher SB? 1 week kasi ako hindi straight kasi ako na duty, long day, long day. So, kaya biglaan. Kaya ngayon lang ako naka-day off. Ay, nako. Kayo, kailan kayo mag-live streaming? Kumustahan naman? Alam mo, nag-iisip pa rin ako ng mga perks ko, Maze. Sa kaya ako pwede mag-download ng mga emojis direct from the computer kasi gusto kong gandahan eh. Alam mo, talaga pinag-iisipan ko hanggang ngayon, hindi ako makapag-iisip na kung ano magaganda na na perks tsaka yung sa membership na Hmm. Nag-aral-aral muna ako ng puwede kong Ate Jo, share ko lang ha, shinare ko na 'to kay Teacher SB tsaka kay Macy. Meron ka bang vidIQ? Tinanggal ko lahat yung mga moderators niya last week kaya pati tuloy ako na, "Ay gano'n? Bakit? Ba't mo siya bakit ka nagtanggal ng moderators, Macy?" Bagong guidelines ba 'yan, pati yung night boot? Bagong guidelines ba 'yan or ano? 'Di ko rin alam kung saan, eh. Ayan, okey. Ayan. Ate Jo, yung share ko lang po yung vidIQ para para mag-ano ka pa, para mag-expand pa lalo yung bago bago pala by the way, miss, dapat meron ka tinatawag na Chrome extension. Ang vidIQ pala maano mo lang siya via Chrome extension. Ayan. Naku, napaka-strict naman ni Teacher SB. Alam ko na kasi dahil may nangyari last week sa kanya totoo ba yun? Alam mo anong nangyari dun ba't parang nag-black siya na parang blackout or something? May tumuwad na naman ba? Ayan. Oo, alam mo, Ate Jo, tingnan mo yung channel ko, yung parang may blue na ganyan. Tapos ang features niyan, napakaganda ng stats niya, no? Napakaganda ng stats niya kasi makikita mo yung lahat ng videos mo, kung ilang percent yung revenue, mga CPM, yung mga ano mo, dun mo talaga siya masubaybayan ng maayos. Kaya very helpful po siya. Para makita mo kung anong video mo yung nagpa-perform na maayos o hindi. Tapos pwede mo rin siyang ano tawag nito, pwede mo rin siyang tawag nito, gawa ng paraan. Lalo na yung, I find it very helpful po yung keywords, yung SEO, yung search engine optimization niya. Napakaganda po kasi doon mo malalaman kung paano ang magandang gawing title. Tapos dito sa Europe and London, ibibigay niya kung ano yung ranking mo. Yung tube ranking maganda din po yun. Kaso hindi pa po ako tapos kasi iniisa-isa ko muna at kino-concentrate ko na. iPhone lang gamit ko, di ako maka-download. Ay, ganun, miss. Kasi wala na akong available na space masyado. Ay, ganun po ba? Yes, Ate Chrome. Sa laptop mo, miss, wala ba kayong laptop or Windows ni Colette? Kasi maganda talaga siya. I-try mong tingnan yung channel ko, yung about. Tapos nakapaglagay na nga rin ako ng link ko sa Kangen tsaka sa Mining City. Kasi pag nagbasa yung genuine talaga na marunong mag-assess ng channel, no? Mag-navigate yan sila sa my channel and what you speak about your channel, kung ano yung tungkol sa channel mo. So doon nila makita. And then above ng parang timeline, yung parang yung health is wealth, na merong pangalan ko na Rodalyn TV, tsaka may picture ko, tsaka yung cutie-cutie na nurse. Meron siyang tinatawag na andun sa taas yung Mining City, tsaka Kangen. Tapos yung sa baba nun, Malalaman mo din kung sinong trending, alam mo yung gano'n. Wala po kaming laptop under ay gano'n, Ahay, hayaan mo 'pag matanggap na yung cheque natin, sana meron na tayong ano 'no, ay kahit ano hindi ba puwede kahit second hand na laptop diyan? Hindi pa ba kaya ng budget? Nag-edit ako about my channel. Oo, sige Ate Jonah, pero gamitin mo yung ano Ate Jo, nag-e-edit ka ba ngayon? Gamitin mo yung Chrome extension, tsaka yung i-download mo yung vidIQ, tuturuan ka niya, kung ano yung sa searchable na word. So kunwari 'no, kunwari, ah yung how to earn money online, how to make money online, or how to um, o travel. Yung mga keywords na pwede mong gawa ng hashtag, tapos i-add mo yung mga competitors mo din, no? Kasi pag in-enter mo yung phrase na yon o yung word na yon, may percentage na lalabas. Kunwari 1 in 10, ilang tao ang nagsisearch using that word. Pag marami, yun ang pipiliin mo. Yun ang ilalagay mo ngayon sa may box, sa may ilalim na gawin mong hashtag. Tapos i-click mo lang yung hashtag kasi it will show you percentage eh. Kunwari is a word na 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 skincare, for example, all throughout the world, sino yung how many people are using that word in the search engine, ha, para pag ginamit mo yung word na yun as a title mo, kunwari, skincare, or how to use, or how to earn money, or how to grow your channel, no? Pag ginamit mo yung mga specific phrase na yon, magiging ano din yung ano mo, yung video mo, magiging top din siya kasama yung mga competitors mo. Gets niyo? So kunwari 1 out of 10, example 1 out of 10 of the video of the YT creators are using the word how to make money online. So example, if there are 10 of you there, no, i-join mo yung mga competitors mo, including yourselves, i-tag them. So, pag nag-search yung tao, if I will search or put that phrase sa my search engine, ma-optimize ka. Andyan yung, ano mo, kasi ginawa ko yun, te. I tried it using the title na, kunwari, Rodalyn TV. Is there anyone in the world searching for Rodalyn TV in either Bing, in either search, in Google, in whatever form, no? Ng mga search engine dyan, or in YouTube, in social media, using the word Rodalyn TV, you will see umaangat po siya. Ang dami-daming ano. So with the vidIQ, the vision of YouTube, tutulungan ka niya para iangat yung channel mo. So that you are not just limited to your teams in the Philippines or in global. Kasi whoever attends your LS, kung naging trending man yung video mo, that's great. Pero kung walang nakaka-discover sa akin, sa iyo, o sa ating lahat, no? Kung tayo-tayo lang tayo-tayo lang din ang magkikitaan. Yung how about in other countries? So yun pala ang sekreto nila, te. They use the search, the SEO na tinatawag, the search engine optimization. Ayan, mas-search ang YouTube channel natin sa keyword. Yes, yes. Pero what I mean, te, na yung specific video natin mismo na pinopromote natin, no? Kunwari, like this one. So, reaction time about global news slash politics, whatever it is. So, dapat yung title ng specific video natin, bago natin lagyan ng title, dapat i-search, via search engine test muna natin. Para alam natin na pag nag-search yung taong yun about skincare, about politics, about global news, year 2020, pandemic, whatever it is, umaangat din siya. Gets niyo? So, parang ganun. So, yan. So far, yun ang na-learn ko. One tip na na-learn ko. Yung sa my vidIQ po. So, napakagandang tool. Tapos, meron din dyan yung mga surveys, no? So, binibigay niya yung statistics mo and then visibility at kung magkano yung revenue mo per video. So, doon mo rin po yun makikita. No? Um, so, it's very interesting. Tsaka, ang dami-dami lang. ang dami-dami lang video dyan na pwede mong mapagkukunan ng lesson no? Na makakatulong po sa ating video. Ayan. So, kumusta na po yung mga travel-travel natin dyan? So, Macy, anong plano mo sa birthday mo, Mace? Don't worry ha, sa mga napanalunan nyo last time sa akin. I haven't forgotten. Talagang, tsaka inaantay ko pa yung sa katapusan para may pang dagdag tayo sa ano. Medyo nasaid tayo gawa nung aking, tawag nito, Mining City. Tsaka yung sabi ko sa iyo, Mace, na PHP Works. Yun yung kasi pinagkaaralan ko eh. Talagang, ano, so far kumikita naman siya. So, yung sa PHP, inaantay ko palang ma-develop yung system nila na ano yung application natin para, ayun. So far, what do you think of it, Mace? Napag-aralan mo na ba? Iba, ano ba? Sa panahon nga wala pa taga, di maka-afford kahit second. Oh, yeah, that's true. Aha, importante talaga bigas. That's true, Mace. I agree. Ano pa ba pwedeng pang ano natin sa bigas? Mga prutas, gulay. Hindi 'no, talagang 'pag sanay ka kasi sa rice talagang hanap-hanapin talaga. Actually, Mace, kung mas mura yung patatas, kamote, tsaka kung ano man diyan, puwedeng 'yan na lang muna yung anuhin natin ano, sige lang. Wala pa ba kayong sahod ni Colette? Hindi pa ba nakarating si AdSense? Ako inaantay ko pa din si AdSense ano, tsaka si ano tawag nito, sana makaraos tayong lahat. Kaya pero i-try niyo din Mace yung followfast.com. Ate Jonah ay uh, if you scroll back yung nilagay ko na followfast.com. um, isa din po yung social media, Ate Jo, na kung saan sa kakapanood mo ng video, ikaw ngayon ang bibigyan ng sahod. Kasi you will earn something from just by simply liking, subscribing, and watching videos po. It comes to point system na pwede mo siyang i-convert sa cash. So, malaki tulong. Ako ilang points na rin pa ako pero hindi ko pa po siya kino-convert sa ano. I'm planning na ipunin ko muna. Yes, you can apply online. You can apply online kasi marami kang computer diyan, 'di ba? You can habang nanonood ka sa akin, i-ano mo po siya Ate Jo, just Google the followfast.com. And then for every pag inano mo 'yan may makikita kang box, mga boxes na it says watch this, kunwari 29 points or 7 points, 5 points, 3 points, yung mga ganun. Iipunin mo yan. And then madali lang siya kasi it's just like less than a minute na mga video. So very ano po siya tapos bibigyan ka kaagad ng points. But you have to watch it in full. Iba may harang, iba wala. So it's very motivating din. Kahit papaano ikaw binabayaran para lang manood. Meron din diyan na when you listen music, ikaw din yung makaka-earn ka din ng gano'n. But, sa mga iba-ibang ano, napakagaling. No, I wish I can learn that. Ayan. Yes. So 'di ba sa live streaming natin tayo yung nagbibigay 'no, nagso-sponsor in order to collaborate with our fellow YouTubers. But there are social media or platforms na tayo naman ang babayaran sa kapanonood lang ng video ng iba-ibang, alam mo yung may mga ibang YouTubers from all over the world. No, it's either in Middle East or in Europe or here in UK or in part of Asia. Makikita mo yung kanilang channel talaga naka-under na sa vidIQ. yung naka-Chrome extension na sa kanila. So, parang enhanced na version po siya. I shared this to Teacher SB also, pero wala pa siyang time. Malaking advantage po. Ngayon yung I noticed no yung Alzheimer's dementia ko, before it was only viewed by only few no na nag-start ako ng LS. Just if may see you can see this. I don't know whether you have access to it no. You can see na ilang thousand na yun. Ngayon nasa umabot na siya sa mga make it 11 to 13,000 na views. Isa-isang video ko lang po 'yon, no. So malaking tulong po talaga siya. So sana makita niyo 'no. So sana tingnan mo 'yon para talagang malay mo makakatulong din po 'yon para mag-improve ng ating viewers. Kasi not only tayo nababayaran ka sa kaka-watch ng video nila, you will also be liking, no? Kahit sa FB channel mo, pag i-share mo siya doon, mismong from watching via Facebook or mag-watch ka ng Facebook ng ano, o kaya mag-subscribe ka lang, they will give you points also, no? Tapos, pwede ka rin magpa-member. Tapos puwede ka ring mag-advertise ng sarili mong advert doon mismo at mag-enter ng sarili mong URL or channel para ma-ano din, ma-discover ka din ng ibang tao, ng ibang YouTubers po. So, gano'n ang advantage niya. Pinag-aaralan ko pa po kung paano mag-share ng aking sarili kong video doon. But so far at the moment, what I'm doing is just watching my fellow YouTubers po. And then I also like and subscribe with them just to add up ng channel. O, di ba, Miss? Sana, Miss. Hindi ka ba pwedeng mag-ano dyan sa rent, sa computeran? O kung sino man dyan, may friends ka na para lang mag-ano ng i-program mo lang. Sana kung may access ako sa ano mo, no, gawan kita. Pwede ko bang gawin yun, Miss? Kung i-access ko yung iyong channel. Kasi pero ayoko kasing maggalawin. Baka mali mapindot ko at ano ka, magka-problema ka. Ano, magka-problema tayo. At least ikaw confident ka, alam mo pasikot-sikot ng ano, ayan. Basta Ate Jo, pag may tips kayo, pag may alam akong tips, rest assured, isi-share ko po yan. Kasi nakuha ko lang din yan sa ibang nag-share ng mga generous na YouTuber din. So, tulungan lang po tayo, di ba? I don't want na ako lang yung nakakaalam. Pag bigla ma-shock na lang ko, bakit milyones na yung ano yung channel yung pala no, may technique siyang ginawa no. Ayan. Para at least no, who knows later on, yun ang paraan para ma-recognize din globally talaga yung ating channel. Diba? Para hindi lang yung sa atin lang. It's nice to have a loyal bunch of friends, a loyal team na andyan palagi sa iyo tuwing nagka-LS ka, no? But it's also good to have someone na hindi mo kakilala and then you learn something from them. Kasi dito sa mga UK audience and other parts of the world, no, talagang pungkacious ang kanilang mga YouTube, ang laki-laki, no? But there are a lot of Filipinos na very successful din yung kanilang channel, no? And it's so fascinating na it's very creative. Alam mo may mga pa-border-border pa, may mga, alam mo yung may mga gusto kong, ano ba yung tawag na, elgato ba yun, Mace? Yung may mga sound effect. Ito pa pala Ate Jonah, yung elgato na tinatawag. Yes, sharing is caring, I agree. Nag-subscribe ako ate sa, tinatawag nila na elgato ba yun? Pero kasi yung ano ko, sa Chrome extension din yun. Pero yung para sana, gusto kong i-improve yung background, yung may mga sound effect, yung meron nga ako inatinan. Saan ba yun? Yung kay Brent ba yun? Yung kilala mo ba si Poknot Maze? Ate Jonah, yung si Poknot, yung may pa-iba-ibang voices na pag nagla-live yung kanyang mommy. Si Mommy Brent pa yun, tinatawag nila. Yung kanyang mommy, tapos may pa-ano-ano pa siya. May paiyak-iyak, may pa-drama-drama. Alam mo yun? Yung parang nagda-dialogue silang dalawa. Nakakatawa. Parang hindi siya boring, di ba? Ayan. So yung Elgato naman, meron siyang parang sound effect. na um, when you when you talk, tapos meron kunwari merong mga nag-super chat, merong tapos mag-aano ka lang, magfa-flash ka lang ng ng sounds na puwedeng mag-ano sa kanya na it's alam mo nakakapagpaligaya ng mga audience kasi dun sila nawiwili, dun sila nag-e-enjoy and you can see the reaction 'no. Meron din naman ako ina-attendan na sobrang ganda ng layout, yung landscaping ng kanyang video 'no. Tapos yung mga super chatter niya dun sa kabila, hindi yun dito. Nandoon siya sa kabila tapos may iba-ibang kulay, tapos may iba very colorful. Sabi ko, "Ang gagaling naman nila." Yes, merong sound effects na ano talaga. Tsaka hindi lang yung attitude, pati yung font, F-O-N-T, kaya nilang iba-ibahin. Alam mo yung kaya nilang i-adjust. Sabi ko nga, saan kaya nila kinakalikot yun? Gusto ko siyang i-explore kasi ang ganda talaga. Tapos yung background nila, yung basta very very high-tech talaga na ano. Sabi ko sana ma-discover ko 'tong ano, yung ways on how to ano, kasi mahilig din ako sa ganyan, eh. Yun nga lang wala akong talagang time dahil sa ano, Monday to Friday ko na schedule. So, pagkatapos mo na 'pag nag-long day ka, alam mo yung gusto mo na itulog kasi pagod ka, sakit likod mo, yung gano'n. So, 'yan. So far, 'yan ang aking na-explore for 1 week ko na hindi pagla-live. After work bago ako matulog, talagang at least for an hour, sinacrifice ko na instead na mag-live ako. Oo nga. O baka nga marunong sila, baka mga IT sila. Yes, highly likely po ate, yeah, talaga. Talaga siguro may mga computer background talaga yan na proper, no? So sana may mga short courses na ganun, kahit man lang pandagdag sa ano. Or baka ano din, kasi may mga training din yata sa YT Academy. Kasi nung nag-ano ako may mga courses din yata eh. May mga free ano din sa may YT Academy ng gano'n. So, it's very nice, no? Ayan. Alam mo wala sina Yum Yum, sina ano, asan kaya sila? Kasi ang tagal ko nawala kaya na tsaka may mga trabaho na rin siguro sila, no? Tsaka dumalaw din ako sa iba-ibang mga ano. Ang galing nga ng style ni ano, sino ba 'yun? Yung sa Sweden, si ano ba 'yun, si Ate ano, Rose Lyon. Na puro LS lang yung puro, live streaming kwentuhan lang yung content nila pero okey din naman ano. Pero it's still nice that you have, your own specific content para naman, yun ang isa-subscribe ng tao, eh, 'no. Yun talaga yung babalik-balikan nila na parang you have a proper episode po na ano. So, yun ang plano ko 'no, in order to have my own segment na ano. So, talagang gusto ko siyang i-focus talaga para yung alam mo yung magkaroon ako ng system. Nakita mo ba yun ate yung ginagawa nila na may proper system? Kasi kunwari itong Alzheimer's dementia ko o yung free zone model of care ko, yung gawin ko siyang proper content talaga na doon mag-subscribe yung tao, they will, merong module, no, yung may mga funnel type na ano, tapos doon sila magsa-subscribe. It's an added source of income po, no? Kung maka-develop ka ng ganyang content. Yeah. Yes, good night, Macy. Ano lang ako ng 2 oras kasi yun. Good night. Thank you for coming. Download ba yung Chrome extension or search lang? I-download mo siya talaga, te, kasi it will give you the proper way of how to do things. Good night, Macy. Happy birthday. Magising ka bukas ha, ang birthday mo. Dapat maganda ka. Ayan, sige. Catch up lang tayo ha by the end of the month. Gawan mo na lang 'to Mace ng thumbnail bukas o kaya anytime when you have ano ha. Thank you. God bless. Te, i-download mo siya 'to yung sa Chrome extension. Teka, pakita ko sa'yo. Ayan. Taka sandali VidIQ. Pero, thank you po. Ayan. Ayan. Sige, good night, Mace. Di ba tayo yung Chrome, ayun te, oh, yung, di ba yung bilog, yung Chrome extension, yung Chrome, ayan, yung bilog. Tapos, i-ano mo siya, vidIQ, delete, wait, nakita mo na, te. Ayan. Kailan te, bigay ko sa'yo. Ayan siya, te, oh, vidIQ. Ayan, nakikita mo siya. Ang aim talaga, vidiq.com. vidiq.com. Ayan. Ang aim niyan te is to help you on how to get more views and subscribers. Ayan. Pero yung followfast.com naman, eh, for you to earn some extra income by simply watching the videos of others or by liking and by subscribing, parang ganon. Ayun, yun. So far, yun ang dalawa kong pinagtutuunan ng pansin ngayon para para pandagdag ko po sa ano. Okay? Ayan. Sige lang, te. Mag-download ka lang dyan. Ayan. Kung gusto mo mag-join sa Mining City ko, te, sabihin mo lang, ha? Ayan. Ayan, so we have 5 million people in the house. Yung iba tulog na, yung iba wala pa rin, but it's okay. I'm here for maybe just for 2 hours and then have some rest. So kanina yung topic po natin ay tungkol sa reactions on global news and slash politics po. So we featured the video or and the speech of our beloved President Duterte address in United Nations po on their 75th anniversary. So I know there's also other world leaders who are trying to address, but what captivates me is the speech of President about COVID, um, and how he view about it and how he analyzes and how we wish to do some more in order to really achieve something in finding solutions on how we can manage effectively the pandemic. But what I like the most is what he said, that um, the virus knows no age, knows no gender, knows no ethnicity, and a lot more. And also a challenge calling to other member nations that if we cannot be friends, or at least in the name of God, do not hate each other. No? Because I know for sure President Duterte, as a leader of the Philippines and as president, um, is a very, very tough, resilient kind of president with a long list of amazing achievements. No, it's beyond. For me, if I have to rate him, it's it's beyond excellence. It's more than outstanding performance. No, that no leader apart from President Marcos, of course, who have achieved a lot also in his time. But after the President Marcos, a lot of leaders followed up. But President Duterte's achievement is is not even the is not even the accumulation of what the these other presidents behind him has achieved. No, it's just like he's been there for 50 years or more, and he's only there for 2 years. It's amazing. For me, it's double, double, triple, whatever. No, and sobrang hanga po ako sa kanya. So, for you, Mr. President, Tatay Digong, our beloved, His Excellency Rodrigo Roa Duterte, I'm so proud of what you have achieved for my beloved homeland. And kahit wala po kami doon, rest assured we're just here to support you. We're behind you. And whatever plans for me personally, and for you, and for the rest, and for the entire Filipino, I'm sure the return of the Maharlikans um, will be realized. And I do believe deep in my heart na mangyayari po yun. And we will ensure that it will happen. Kasi po, I believe in God, and I believe in the divine power that whatever is good will always prevail. No matter how much we suffer as a country or as citizens of the earth, no evildoers will ever, ever surpass or compete with the goodness. It's always the good that will win in the end. And it's always goodness will triumph in the end. So, kahit naghirap man po tayo, and the truth will come out sooner. So, stay healthy po, Tatay Digong. Stay healthy, Mr. President. And the Philippines needs you badly. The Philippines really needs you. And I know and I trust that you're doing your best so much for for our beloved homeland. So, sana po a global message to all the Filipinos. We need to open our minds. We need to acknowledge and open our hearts po to what is the truth. No? Alam ko meron po tayong mga tao na undecided. Kung hindi pa alam, dapat at this time, dapat alamin na po natin ang katotohanan. No? Uh, it's okay to go back to the past and rewind and reminisce just to get the flavor, just to understand why it happened, how it happened, so that we can arrive to a solution. No? It's hindi po masama that we have to understand the very root cause analysis. Yun po palagi kong ginagawa. I also try, in whatever I do, I always go back to how things happen the way it should or the way it shouldn't. I always come up with the five whys. No? Why, why? Until I satisfy myself with the answer na. That helps me analyze that these things happen because of. Do you know what I mean? So, sana po ay buksan natin ang ating isipan at damdamin para lamang po sa ikabubuti nating lahat. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, if, you know, sometimes in our lives, if you really have to think hard, if we value one person, example, a leader, a potential leader, or a party that we support, I'm talking about politics here. Sometimes if you really have to think it about it, may mga tao na nababayaran, napipili ang boto, binibenta ang integridad, binibenta ang kaluluwa, no? para lang makuha ang minimiting pangangailangan. It's so sad to think that we can't even stand up for our own rights and principles. No? At ang masakit dyan, dahil po sa kahirapan, nadadala din po yung ating, naiiba yung ating paniniwala. No? Nadadala tayo sa patwitams-twitams or sa mainggan yung pananalita, ano? And I can't blame anyone for doing that. I'm I'm just trying to point out the reality na dahil sa status natin ganyan, we seem to deviate on what is supposed to be our original belief or strong belief. No? Minsan dahilan sa pangangailangan, the superficial needs, the basic needs, the physical needs of our own health, of our own selves, nadadala po tayo. Kaya na lang ng ibibenta mo yung boto mo. No? Which is kadalasan nangyayari sa mga mahihirap nating mga kapatid. And we can't blame them. We can only blame the government who cannot provide, who failed these people. Pero dahil din sa atin, dahil sa maling boto natin, no, dun tayo nagkakamali ng desisyon. So ang solusyon, before we can even jump to a bigger conclusion, dapat ang solusyon para sa atin, sa mga tao sa ang lupalop man ng mundo, may election man o wala, is to know ourselves, to know the history, know the truth. At yun ang panghahawakan natin. Di ba ba? We need to get hold of the truth because the truth can set us free. The only thing to know about it, we need to open our minds. We need to open our hearts. Huwag lang yung dahil kaibigan mo, nainganyo ka. Huwag lang yung dahil sa magandang pananalita. No? Ako I also being blinded by the truth, no? Pero ngayon, ako kasi pag once na discover ko yung truth, I'll stand up for it, no? And if I stand up before to something na napapaniwalaan ko dahil sa maling introduction o kasaysayan dahil I don't have the resources at the time to know the truth, ako na mismo, ako na rin mismo ang magko-correct sa mga bagay na hindi ko nakikita o dahil ako ay hindi nabigyan ng pagkakataong malaman o makita, dahil ako ay talagang restricted o hindi pinayagang alamin ang katotohanan. No? At mayroon pa tayong mga kaibigan na ganyan o may mga taong ganyan din. Dahil kunwari, kaya na lang itong Facebook or social media. You want to post something para you want to provide awareness to other people. Pero dahil ang kalaban ay andyan lang na doon. Because you're restricting. No? Okay, there are platforms, pero you don't violate naman eh. You're just expressing your free right to share your thoughts and ideas and to show people. No? You're sharing awareness. Hindi po yun dahil na meron kang binubombahan o medyo kayo na-atake, no? You are sharing awareness to the full ability na alam mo sa ikabubuti nating lahat. Pero dahil ang kalaban o may-ari o yung nagpundar ng ganitong channel, hindi pala sumasang-ayon, basta-basta ka na lang tatanggalin. No? And that is the sad part of it. So para sa akin, dapat as a human being, no, if we really value life, if we value God, if we value Mother Earth, if we value our family, ourselves, and our loved ones, we need to stay connected with nature, with our country, of what's going on around us. Because there's no point just existing on our own. It's meaningless. It's empty. We have to connect. We have to connect to our loved ones. We have to connect and understand the surrounding, the environment we are in. And that's the way forward on how to contribute to the best way we could. You can only respond and react at a certain issue, certain concern, and a certain element of discussion or a topic that's close to your heart if you know so much, if you're in tune or if you're hooked to it. And somehow you must know the truth. Do you know what I mean? And speaking from the heart, from the experience, I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through a lot. Just review the videos that I post. I know it's not yet enough, but I know one day I will come to a point where I'm gonna share a very, very important aspect of my life that made me who I am now. And time will come eventually. But as for now, our topic limits on the reactions on what is happening around us. And the topic I've chosen is something close to my heart that I can relate, you know, having studied government and politics. It gives me that sense of pride and happiness if I can contribute something just outside the box of my profession. Just sharing information about nursing is good. No, it's good. It's a good content to explore. But I feel incomplete without touching the very important element of our existence, and that is politics, and that is governance, because it is something about people. It talks about policies, it talks about people, it talks about lives that matters. So nowadays we are confronted about a pandemic, and every nation seems to be just out of control or lost of what's going on. And sometimes to the extent of running out of funds and where are we going to get them. And sometimes I feel like the entire economy is collapsing and crushing, and all the traders are in celebration because stocks are gone down and it's a high time to invest and buy. You know, it's good for them. But for those who have nothing, what is it for them to give and to gain? Do you know that? And for those who are unemployed and have nothing to eat, nothing to do, just stay at home, try to create an online job, or try to be resourceful as much as you can. What else can we do? You know, sometimes it made me think. I know God is in control. God is looking on us, upon us. But sometimes it made me think, who are these evil people trying to control the entire world? I know some answers, but I wish I can see them and speak to them, heart to heart, and ask them, why are they doing this? You know, do you know what I want to ask them? The specific people wanting more power every day, trying to grab or trying to attack any leader that is against them. What can they gain? More power, more control, more wealth, and for what? And if they die, what are they gonna do with it? Do you think history will celebrate their powerful existence? Or don't they know that people or history will condemn them? You know? I don't understand this kind of thinking. It's quite monstrous. It's just not right. I wish every leader in the world will just be content on where they lead and just be mindful of their own business, mindful of their own country. Don't touch other nations. Just let them be. If you want to help, that's fine. Help. But don't bomb, don't invade, don't let people, children suffer for no reason. Do you think expanding your reign or your power is a celebration? Maybe yes, but most likely and hugely not. You know why? Because you attack, you let these people suffer by plain bombing alone. You make that country penalized, suffer, and leave them in despair, homeless, you know? And yet you don't bother. One thing I don't understand for other people, or for any nation for that matter, or these so called elites and the so called deep state, what can you gain? What can you gain by seeing every other nation suffer? You think it's your pride? You think it's your boost to your ego to achieve such irresponsible act of crime against humanity? Don't you ever bother or care about your soul? And this spread of black propaganda and any powerful media in the world, what can you gain from being dishonest and from lying to people, from hiding the truth? What can you gain? Tell me. Don't you feel guilty of the consequences of your actions? You know, yes, you may gain power. Yes, you may gain monies. You may gain wealth. You may gain dominion over any other nations. But what about the lives lost? Typical example this pandemic. If your agenda is depopulation, if you aim that by 2050 whatsoever, there will only be 1 billion people left in the planet, do you think it's achievable? Out of how many billions in existence in the entire earth? Do you think you can bring them to Mars and start another planet, another existence of humanity there? Do you know what amazed me most is a question. Why if a billionaire or high profile people behind the scene hiding themselves somewhere and just just by a flush of their wealth, can order someone to kill someone, can order a group of people just to bomb like that. Just like what happened in the Twin Towers, and make people believe of someone who done this. But the truth is, they've stolen the Marcos gold that belongs to the Philippines, the wealth of our Filipino people, the wealth of humanity. Because after 50 years, it's finished. Do you think it's right? No. And they blame other people. And they blame a rebel just to plan it out. I don't know if you know what happens to Marcos as well. They ousted him, captured him, because the CIA scripted the drama and used Corazon Aquino, the wife of Benigno Aquino, so they can hold her like a puppet and use ABS-CBN to spread lies and black propaganda and shock Ninoy Aquino in the tarmac and blame Marcos. Do you think it's right? No. And we all believe that. And that's the problem. That's the problem of the Filipino people and the entire nation who made believe of the media lies. It's sad, isn't it? 30 years we suffered. And the poor good man, who is supposed to be the hero, is not even allowed to come back home. Yeah? You know, it's time to change, people of the world. It's time to change. You know, sometimes when I'm sitting in my room and I'm trying to read informations, I'm trying to read news, I'm really deeply sad on how the world manipulates in such dishonesty and filthy cracks of the strategic tactics to rule the world. I would encourage everybody not to stay calm, vigilant, and resilient. I wish all ages from all over the world will wake up in a good sense of understanding. You know, when you're being silenced, I know it's hard, but in a peaceful way, at least let them know that it hurts. When you feel your leader in any parts of the world is not giving you that sense of understanding, sensitivity, and loving care for you as a people, do something about it. Do something about it. But never, never deprive your right to be silenced because you are afraid to speak up for the truth. especially for the American people where election is coming up. You need to know who controls that candidate. You need to know who President Trump is. Yes, he can be saying something against the media, but because he knows how to speak the truth. You think he may be rude, but look at President Duterte of the Philippines. His mouth may be like that, but his heart is for the people. His actions are far beyond his loving heart to serve because he loves the country so much. And that's the kind of leader that you need, not the one who speaks so eloquently and like a statement, but behind they are the real theft, stealing away the golds, running away all those trillions of golds. You know, sometimes people we need to distinguish what is right from wrong. I'm here to help you understand. If I can guide you, then thank you. But if you perceive it the other way around, then it's your problem. I have been silenced for years as well. I received threats in my life. I experienced horrible bullying and harassment. But I know in the end, God will give you strength to speak up. You know? And if someone tried to share some information, very important information as such, learn to listen and never prejudge. Okay? Especially for us Filipinos, we have this kind of mentality that we can be easily persuaded. Like the wind, maihipan ka lang ng hangin nandun ka sa kabila, no? There's a massive difference between that you're being lied upon and not being able to know the truth and you believe than the one that you have a fixed idea that cannot be mended. It's very difficult to persuade someone or make someone understand if the mind is closed, if the thinking and the belief is so narrow and stiff and rigid. But it's so nice to feel that when you speak up, when you say something interesting that you want to enlighten people, they will listen, absorb, analyze, and understand and make their own judgment. But it's also dangerous just to speak for something, put in one ear and let the other, and not do something about it. But it's also helpful that if you feel the information given to you is too much, so you just put it in there and let it out, and it won't affect you. That is in the positive way, trying to protect yourself from too much. So I just hope the best is yet to come. And I really wish, on my own assessment, there are good leaders out there. Give them that chance to shine. Give them that chance to really value you as a person. No. Let us just not focus on something that you see superficially and you make believe that's the right thing to do. No. You have to do your own research. But again, by researching, you have to identify the validity and whether the information is correct or not. It's not just a one off glance and then you believe on it. No. Mine, the information I'm sharing to you now, I watch it over and over again and validate the information via books and credible with good credibility via Wikipedia, via other sources of information. So it's not just like I watch this one video and believe it straight away. I have to validate the information from other useful link from other sources almost 10 or 20 times over and over again. I have to review and weigh up the information I have read, weigh up the information I have seen, and do more extensive research. That's why it took me quite a while to really have this courage to speak up because I have to be responsible for what I'm gonna say live to you. Do you understand? Because I'm a global influencer now, having created my own channel. Whatever information I give out to you, it can be helpful to build you, and that's my aim. And I never, never, ever want to share life information that will harm you, and that is guaranteed. Either I will teach you to educate you to find a better way to do something for your channel. I will teach you, educate you, and inspire you to find valid information where it can guide you on your daily lives, in your tough decision making, even to guide you on who to choose the best people to serve and lead you. I have my own opinion, and that's my right, and no one can take that away from me. But at least I'm giving you the knowledge and the experience and the thorough investigation and observations and readings and researches that I have done myself for years. That's why I have this courage to speak up which one is the best. Yes, I can say President Trump is the best for America at the moment compared to the other opponents. And I have my valid reasons for saying that. And yes, at the moment, President Duterte is the best president of the Philippines. And I have valid reasons for saying that. And yes, I would endorse, I would encourage, and I would even pursue and put forward and if hasten up the implementation of the last will and testament of our beloved and the true hero of the world, not just the Philippines. I'm saying of the world, the former President Marcos, the former President Ferdinand Edrelin Marcos. He is the true hero of the world. You know why? That is the most interesting story I'm going to be starting to reveal next time. He is the only president who have concern to other nations. The only president who put forward, who documented and stated and written in his last will and testament to protect the entire wealth of humanity, from King Solomon's gold to Yamashita gold to uh, Taliano golds and his own commission from his job as a lawyer before he even became a president. I don't know that before because history has hidden me the truth. But because of what happened in my life, I was diverted, I was directed to know the truth. When one day I dream about God and a lot of people happening in the world, and my body was ascended to heaven just like that, I prayed and prayed the meaning of it until I find myself just being guided to find these things. I dream a lot of people. I dream of significant people in the history of the world. It's quite frightening. It was, even to extend that my own life is at risk. But I know for sure I have a special role. Special role. I receive letters from anywhere in the world that I even know where it's coming from. I just feel like the entire universe is pulling at me at the time. That was 20 years back then. And there's a lot more stories that I haven't shared. And I'm speaking to you live from the heart. Everything that I know, my experience, and just something that I wish and I pray people would know. I think it's time for the world to wake up and shake up. I think it's time. Do you know, sometimes I imagine I'm looking up in the glass of the earth. Sometimes I just look at it and see the entirety of the world. It is 197 countries with different rulers. Could you imagine how confusing it is? And that reminds me of the biblical a verse or passage where people tried to fathom and understand who God was. And they tried to create a tower or the highest, in that Babylon because they want to reach and fathom God or be beyond God. And that's what happened to humans when they feel strong and so highly innovative and so powerful. When the works of evil gets into them, they want to be equal. And that reminds me how God tried to stop that from happening. When they try to build the highest and tallest tower to reach Him, God has a way to destroy it. When people start to speak in different language and they don't understand any word anymore, so that ultimate and highest project, human project of them, cannot be built. And that only shows how powerful God is above us. But because of the works of evil, and that is what's happening in the world right now, it's a battle between good and evil. You got China and the Communist Party of China trying to rule the world. You got the deep state in America, the cabal and the Illuminati and the secret society, and all these elites trying to dominate the Federal Reserve and control all nations, all leaders that they don't want and they want ally from them. They're shot dead. And do you think it's right? No. And that's the very root cause of what's happening on earth. It's the greed, capital GREED. It's the greed and the hunger for power. Yes, that's what it is. It would be nice to see who amongst the world leader can penetrate that kind of group of people. They might be strong and mighty, but our God is more powerful and mightier than them. And I know that. It's just sad, isn't it? It's just sad. Sometimes I wonder why people cannot feel exhausted. I'm speaking live with you, unscripted. I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from my direct observations. These are long stored information on my brain that has been suppressed for years. Now it's in a condition to speak out. It would be nice to see who amongst the leader can even put forward a solution to unite us all. I know I read in some news about the proposed plan. It's too early to spill the milk or spill the beans, whatever you call it. I'll give you some tips. But whether or not it will be for the good of all, I'm sure the answer is uncertain and is quite unpredictable event. Whether would people would accept that idea or not, Again, it's all up to the risk involved. You know, sometimes I dream that I wish one day we just wake up when all people from every walks of life will just be like treating each other as one family without any threats of traces of negativity, but just pure acknowledgement. Whoever you are, wherever you are, just be nice to each other, just be friendly, welcoming, be kind, loving, and generous. It would be nice, isn't it? That there will be no such thing as killers, murderers, drug traffickers, abusers, or people trying to kill people. That there's no powerful nation over other nations. Can we just wake up one day, just be really kind and nice to each other? That would be nice, isn't it? I wish the world leaders or those in charge of global government organizations or any huge organizations for that matter would be people centered. You know, if only there's some kind of open connectivity, reaching out to other people, especially for the victims, especially for those who are underprivileged, unfortunate, disadvantaged. I want to see like a some kind of paradise kind of way of life when people are no longer struggling for education, no longer struggling for hospitalization or or accessibility for health, that people have enough earnings of their own to start a living, that people are healthy and no more diseases, that people are helping each other, whether you knew them or not, and just be friends. You know, that it would be nice to wake up that you don't feel being bullied or harassed or being suspected of of anything that you haven't even done wrong or you don't even know whether you committed it or not. It would be nice to think that there's no drugs or no huge companies taking advantage of us or no more children suffering, no more uh, acts of wars or hatred because of religion or gender or ethnicity or things like that. I wish it would just be a happy earth, but I don't know. I think I'm only dreaming. I think Sometimes I feel like religion in itself and politics in itself, when they are competitive to each other, who dominates? Religion, politics, government, or professionals, businesses, entrepreneurs, elites? The list is endless, isn't it? Or the media, because they're the one giving information to people and they feel powerful, or the writers, newspapers, any form of communication, or the social media. Even in our families, sometimes you feel like babies or kids are even more powerful than their parents, that you can't even instill in their minds the proper way of values or giving them or teaching them. Or sometimes you feel like, is it the military, the armed forces, and the police who are trying to make me safe? Are they the one, the more powerful people on the street? Or people who are abusers, criminals, or scammers for that matter, because they're the one behind the scene trying to steal you. You know, in life, with so much group of peoples, the very nature and the complexity of a thread of life is just unbelievably hard to fathom sometimes. So really, it's very hard to offer a solution when this web of problems just crop ups from every angle of the society. But how I wish it would be nice to wake up. I think for me personally, this is how I gonna react to every politics, to every global events that happens in the world, especially this pandemic. I wish that's why I was thinking before, if only there was some kind of policy in the world to unite us all. If this is heaven, I imagine this is heaven, and it's our universal roof. And if there's such a rule that covers us all equally, like in terms of our safety, in terms of how we show respect to each other, also to recognize traditions, cultures. I don't mean getting rid of them, not at all. It's nice to have a distinctive characteristic of your own, but we are binded under one equal domain of understanding and common goal, that is to establish peace, love, solidarity, and unity amongst nations, and not and never in hatred or division or black propaganda, or just because we want to win ourselves, or just because we are governed by a certain politics, and that we want to win all the time. No, But in a way, the pandemic has did us both, the good and the bad. The good part of it is we learn other ways to survive. We learn to reach out more to other people virtually. We learn the technique of what other side of life can offer us. And we learn so many things. We learn to save, we learn to be at home and be with our loved ones, spend quality time with them. But the bad part of it, we are obliged to do things like unzipping us, like not allowing us to speak by wearing mask or by protecting ourselves from the virus. But equally, some of it is not good for our health either. Distancing ourselves from our loved ones and friends, limiting ourselves within the comfort zone of our own, and not really having so much interaction with people and connectivity with nature that is depriving our rights to be with them and restricting our movements. It's just not right. It's just not normal. But I know it does good as well to our planet, but it does harm big time businesses. It hit hard to the unemployed that they all ended up nothing for themselves. It hit hard to the bank because they have to give more finance back to people, support, and it hits the treasury of every government, the funds. That's why I urge the world, and I'm calling on the United Nations in relevance to the speech of our beloved President Duterte, and you as a global organization, unifying supposed to be the countries in the world. I think you need to revisit your policy, and I think you need to revisit your aim, your objectives, your goals to serve the world. In some ways, you have, in my humble opinion, some shortcomings and deficit of that sense of accountability for the global people. You know why? Because you allow this to happen. And I want to challenge you for every nations in the world and for every elite individual people who have stolen that gold that belongs to the wealth of humanity. Every individual person, whoever you are in the world, I'm calling upon you and I'm calling directly on you. Please return at once what you have stolen that belongs to the Filipino people, that belongs to the wealth of humanity, that belongs to the Marcoses, that belongs to my beloved homeland, the Maharlikans. Only then that this universe, that this planet Earth can come back to its balancing momentum when all of you people of the world, leaders of the world, need to design a policy that would return back the value of gold and implement the last will and testament of our President Ferdinand E. Marcos the true hero of the world.